Oh, well, hi there. I just did a little bit of gardening and decided I needed to have a yap session, okay? And I have something that has been on my mind for years now, and I just need someone to tell this to, okay? So if you partake in gardening, I recommend that you do so now. And let's just hang out together. I don't know about you, but me personally, I love skincare. And I remember back in 2017, I discovered this brand called The Ordinary, which I'm sure you've heard of by now. They've blown up so much since then. I believe back in 2020 is when they first went viral all over TikTok. But let me tell you, I remember purchasing The Ordinary products back in 2017 in Sephora. Well, not in Sephora, more so on Sephora's website. They were online only. I do remember that. I actually went back through my Sephora account to confirm that I did purchase the hyaluronic acid serum and the niacinamide serum back in 2017. Now, these products were so affordable. They were $8 for a full ounce of serum. At Sephora, that was kind of unheard of to have something that affordable. So these products were always sold out. I'm telling you, they were such a popular brand. So it was understandable. And then just eventually they never restocked the products and everything just disappeared off of Sephora's website. Now, back then, I did not think too much of it, to be honest with you. But recently, I just started to wonder, why did that happen? Why did they cut ties all of a sudden? And now we know today they're back in stores at Ulta and Sephora. So I got a little curious and I did some digging around. And you guys, there was a scandal, okay? There are some things that happened. I can understand why Sephora just, slowly pulled everything out of their website. Now, I did struggle a little bit finding out the full details of everything that we're going to discuss a little bit later on. There was not a whole lot of coverage of this particular instance in the United States. The Ordinary wasn't popular back then. They were only sold in one store, which was Sephora, and they were online only. So, okay, you guys will understand once I get into it. But before I do get into it, I do want to remind you guys that this is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm here to yap with you. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's yap about this brand, The Ordinary. Okay, so they're a Canadian-based skincare company with their whole dedication, their objective being affordability and efficiency of the products. And they did succeed at this. As we all know, their products are $8 to, I believe, $10 was the most something cost back then. Now, they're a little bit more pricey, but still affordable compared to other brands out there. December 2017, that is when The Ordinary came to the United States, and we saw them on the Sephora website finally. And back then, we only had a couple of products. There were the serums that I mentioned. There was the Squalane cleanser. A moisturizer was available. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. Like I said, I only purchased the niacinamide serum and the hyaluronic acid serum, products that I still use to this day, mind you. As far as I know, their formulation has not changed because they still work great, in my opinion. I know everyone's skin is different, so don't come at me if it doesn't work for you. But from what I've used from them has worked for me. Okay. Though they were successful, their time in the United States was very short-lived. They were only online. I don't know the exact amount of months. I know it was less than a year. And they were pulled from the shelf metaphorically, theoretically. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is the point of the podcast where I tell you if you're looking for a sensible, I don't know if that's a word, a sensible conversation. This is not it, guys. In case you can't tell, I'm a little buzzed, okay? The Ordinary just completely dropped off and disappeared for a whole year and a half, 2 years. So they did not come back until 2019. And I'm just wondering, why the hell is there a gap like that? Like, what happened? I was like, maybe because it's, formulated outside the United States. Maybe they just couldn't afford the shipping fees to keep their products at the lower price point. That's what I thought. Right, that sounded logical to me. Oh, the actual reason is so much worse. So, The Ordinary was owned by a mother company called DCM, and the CEO of DCM is Brandon Truax. I believe I'm pronouncing these names correctly, so I do apologize if anything is mispronounced. That's my B. But anywho, we ball. Let's keep going. Now, Mr. Brandon was described to be a charismatic entrepreneur. Yeah. So what the hell happened? And what's crazy too is when you go into the history of this guy, I mean, I don't want to go into all of this guy's life story, but he was a smart man. He did so much. He built a couple of companies from the ground up, including this one, DCM, which became other companies of smaller cosmetic brands such as The Ordinary. They were all so successful. So the fact that this man did what he did and threw it all away is insane work. Okay, like, dude, come on. No, seriously, real talk. In a way, I do feel kind of bad for this guy. He did fall into some really dark times. There are reports of him having really erratic behavior and abusing hard drugs, abusing alcohol, but that does not excuse what he did, okay? And I mean that sincerely. Sincerely, I do feel bad for him that he was down in a hard time and just felt like he couldn't reach out for help. So seriously, if you guys are struggling, please reach out to someone. Anyways, that does not excuse what this man did, okay? Brandon decided to hop up onto DCM's Instagram page and respond to comments, which I know what you're thinking. Girl, he's the CEO. CEOs are allowed to correspond with their customers, with their fans, which we know, all right, from history and Twitter, that's never a good idea. Y'all see what's going on right now with the McDonald's CEO and how he's crashing out over him doing a Squidward bite on a burger? Yeah, CEOs just stay off social media. Just stay off of social media. No, because all of this was so long ago, the posts and comments were all removed off of Instagram. Obviously, there's no way a brand or a company would keep that up. So I did find some screenshots that I'm going to show you here. He apparently made a joke against drunk elephants, stating one would have to be drunk to overpay for marula oil, which again goes kind of into Brandon's whole philosophy that affordable skincare can be good quality and a good price point. That's always been his whole thing, right? So me personally, I think that's a great joke. But other people did not think so. And that's kind of not the bad thing that he did. That's the more mild thing that he said under the account. Brandon, he became a little bit snarky on that post. A user commented asking, Brandon, are you okay? And he responded back with, yes, but you don't seem so well. Please use modulating glucosides when it's out. Goodbye. I think I'm pronouncing that right. There's a reason why I'm telling you the name of the product, because that's important for later on in this, okay? Now, apparently, the person who asked Brandon if he's okay is a person of a darker complexion. Their account is private, and I wasn't there when this happened, but this is the scandal that kind of launched everything, so I believe all of the reports I see. Don't come at me, okay? Don't come at me. I'm just using my noggin and common sense to put 2 and 2 together and believe that the information that was put in front of me is factual. And I'm just reporting that to you. So this user is of a darker complexion, and Brandon recommended the modulating glucosides to this user, right? Wow, the main ingredient in that is, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry in advance. Please don't roast me too hard, but ascorbyl glucoside. Is that right? I guess you will tell me if it's correct or not. But this is the fucked up part. That particular ingredient is a melanin inhibitor, which is often used as a skin lightener. Girl, he's telling this user with darker skin to lighten her skin. He's telling her that she does not seem well and to use a product. Oh, when I heard that, when I read that and saw the comments and put two, I was like, yeah, I can see why Sephora just cut ties completely. Because, girl, what do you mean? He told someone darker skin tone to bleach their skin. And people were not happy, rightfully so. I'm not happy. Like, what the frick is that? People began to call Brandon racist because he made a very obvious racist remark. Brandon was not happy that he got called out. So DCM went into PR mode. They're trying to make everybody calm down. They deflected on the situation. They're telling everyone that the product itself is meant to treat inflammation of the skin and it's not meant to be a skin lightener. Like, okay, guys. Okay. You got me there. Right. Such douchebags. They really thought they could talk themselves out of this. And then DCM, they stood 10 toes down and buckled down on what they said. They were firm on it and made a statement basically saying that they are not racist. The people who assumed that the product which calms inflammation relates to bleaching skin is a hateful person. And basically that those people are the problem, not Brandon for making that comment. Like, yeah, okay. Sure, Jan. I don't think I mentioned this before, but at this point in time, DCM was doing so well with their products, and especially the brand The Ordinary, that it caught the attention of Estee Lauder Company, which they decided to do a small partnership with DCM, which is, I believe that's how The Ordinary ended up in Sephora. I could be wrong on that. But if my memory serves me right, which who knows right now, but I believe that is how The Ordinary ended up in Sephora in the United States, because they caught the attention of Estee Lauder Company. The reason why it's important to know that is because during the time that Brandon's getting messy on DCM social media, Estee Lauder is behind the scenes already trying to sue DCM. They're facing legal actions due to Brandon closing all operations. Like, he just went behind his partner's back and did that. What is he doing? Now, I don't know fully what happened when all of this is going down, but Brandon, he seriously went off his rocker at this point. He closed all the operations with Estee Lauder due to quote-unquote financial crimes. So Estee Lauder is pursuing legal actions against Brandon. He's then going on his own social media pages claiming that his reputation and his family are under attack because of false claims made by Estee Lauder and then by people calling him racist. Like, dude, give it up already. DCM board finally got their shit together and voted him out as CEO, and a new CEO stepped in. Brandon again just kind of went off and began emailing crazy shit to the CEO of Estee Lauder. Again, none of the emails are public information that I could find. I'm just going off of what I could find. Okay, again, my bad if that's incorrect. I'm just relaying what I found to you because I think it's important to the story. But apparently, allegedly, these emails were so crazy that the executives issued a restraining order against Brandon. The executives of Estee Lauder companies, they issued a restraining order against Brandon. That's something, right? This is the part where things get dark. They get very dark. Brandon is going through it, and on January 20th, 2019, he unfortunately passed away at the age of 40. He fell from his condo's window, and it's never been officially determined that Brandon took his own life. And listen, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but this is a tinfoil hat moment, okay? There's just a lot of things that aren't adding up. Okay, listen. Again, this is just my theory. Don't come at me. But there were no obvious signs of depression or of Brandon wanting to take his own life. There's no note found at the scene. He's beefing with all of these people online. We know that he is allegedly abusing drugs. He could owe people money. He's threatening people. It just is a bit suspicious, if you ask me. Again, no foul play was suspected either. So the police just kind of ruled it as accidental, which again is possible. Maybe he was looking out the window and slipped and fell. But again, I don't know. Once you start looking more into it and seeing how people around him felt about him, and especially knowing that he's kind of going and beefing with certain people, either way, just again, my opinion. Please don't come for me. Please don't come for me. I'm just a girl who wants to yap. Okay, please don't come for me. We do know that he did suffer from mental illness and substance abuse, so it is possible that it was just accidental. Even though I don't buy it, it is possible he took his own life. And again, like I said, there's no signs of foul play. I just think the whole thing is a bit suspicious, kind of convenient. For who? I honestly don't know. I can't say for who, but I have an inkling. Okay, I have a little inkling. And though my theory may be a little bit unconventional, I do have a reasoning for why I think what I think. Part of it is because The Ordinary did not go back onto the American market in American stores like Sephora and Ulta until 2019 after Brandon passed away. Right? It's a little suspicious, you have to admit. It's a little bit, the timeline is a little wonky. It's a little sus. But regardless, it's overall a very sad story when you think about it. He worked his butt off and went all the way from the bottom as an immigrant in Canada to the very top and just fell so hard all the way down to the bottom. And does this excuse any of his actions? Absolutely not. Brandon was a grown adult man and he acted horribly online. Someone really needs to stop letting these CEOs on their brand social media pages, please. Every single time a CEO goes and posts something, it's always a shitstorm. And regardless of the intent behind him recommending said product, he was a grown adult man that attacked someone's appearance, which is just wild. It's weird behavior, red flag. Seriously. As of today, Estee Lauder still owns DCM. DCM still owns The Ordinary. They're all still a big, happy family now that Brandon is gone, which is why I say it's a little bit suspicious. Don't come for me. Okay, don't come for me. That's just my opinion. So yeah, anyways, that is the history and almost the downfall of our beloved brand, The Ordinary. Like I said, I thought it was an interesting piece of information, if you will. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this journey of a yap session. I think I need to go and have another bowl. Take care of yourself. Stay elevated. Stay cool. And I don't know. We'll see. If you have any suggestions of what you want to yap about next, let me know. I don't know how long these episodes will be. They'll probably end up being half an hour to an hour long, depending on what we yap about. Today was just a little bit of an introductionary yap. And I know it didn't reach the full hour mark like I wanted to, but I feel like we had a great time. I told you guys an interesting story, an interesting theory, if you will. You may not agree with my theory, and that's okay. We can talk about it in the comments. Let me know. So let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time. Bye.